Yeah. Okay, cool. So what I want to go through is what I do to prepare for a listing appointment, guys, and I'm going to show you exactly how that is. I'm not the one to have all the like a big packet of a listing presentation. That's just not the way that I like to do things. But for those that do, Lifestyle has created something, and I'm going to show you it here that you could take with you. Regardless, I still take it with me because some people like to see that. I see it as a lot of fluff, and people get lost with the same thing that everybody has. So personally, I don't like it. Some people do. Some people have their way of explaining it with that, and they don't have anything else. Well, what I do, what my team does that I teach them is that I always do a CMA for the property. Okay. The way that we get listings mostly is by cold calling. So once we get a person that's interested, let's say to know the value of their home, to start getting some numbers and stuff like that, then we get into all the comparables and everything that we need to get this done. So let me show you how I would do a comparable. Let me see. So I'm gonna use one of my properties. Let me know if you guys can still see my screen, please. I want to share everything. Um,
Yeah, you're still sharing.
okay, cool. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the property appraiser site. Okay. I already pulled up an address for a property that I own. So here it is, 10397 Southwest 209 Lane. It's a townhouse. It's this one here. Okay. So here I always want to make sure that everything's correct. My name, Manuel Sanchez, the address, the number of rooms, square footage, living area, all that. Okay. So basically, when I do the comparables, I base myself off of this. So that house is 1,225 square feet. It was built in 1981, and the lot size is 4646. What I would do here, I would go to the MLS, right? I go back. I'll do 6 months. I'll do half a mile because it's a small neighborhood, and I'll do 6 months, which is 180 days. So here, when I'm doing my comps, this is what I do. I put the address, boom, pops up here. I want to see within the wait, let me see. Okay, so that's the address. So now I'm gonna do the neighborhood because it's a small neighborhood with, let me see here. Hmm. Excuse my internet. I don't know why it's going so slow. Okay, that's completely wrong. You see how it's out here? And Color Bay is all the way in this end. So let's see what's going on here. 10397. Let's start off like this. Okay, that's not it. So my area code is 33189. So always make sure that here is correct. Boom. Let me see. Let's try it again. 10397 Southwest 209 Lane. This one, Color Bay. Boom. All right, now we have 11 matches. But I want to take it a step further since it's a townhouse. I only want to stay within right here because this is the community. So I don't need anything else. When you're in the community, the comparables you will get in the community. So come here, highlight this whole thing. In fact, I think that it's just this track right here, which is the street and the houses on both sides, but I'll do a little wider. And then the other one, I'll just delete it. Boom. So results. And I'll go back here to 365 days. Okay. Which is a year. And then Here are the comparables. Mine is completely remodeled. Let's see this one here. And if it's the same style, because you have section 1 and section 2. So this one here, believe it or not, is smaller than my home, but it's a single family home. So that's not it. That's not a comparable. This one here, really nice. Okay, so this one's a comparable. And this one's even more decked out than mine is, but they'll get about the same value because they're both remodeled. So 450, okay? So I would use that with the rest of the comps, and I'll show my sellers in their house. I take my iPad and I go through every one of them with them. The reason why I do this, guys, is because you're educating them at the same time. They're picking their house out of these houses and saying, all right, mine compares to this or doesn't compare. When their house is a bird's nest and it's all banged up, and then they see a fully remodeled house that sold for 467, do you think they're gonna wanna, you know, in their head, they're gonna want to list for the highest price, but they're gonna come to reality when they see the pictures and they say, wow, this house looks nothing like mine. It's way better. So the comps is very important. That's one thing that I take. Another thing that I take with me to the listing appointment is the property um, card to show them, all their information and all that. I always look at the year it was sold, at the year it was sold and how much it was sold for, to see how much motivation they really have. I bought this one for 125 in 2015. I'm not motivated to sell. I'm a guy that's gonna buy and hold for the rest of my life. Uh, but it's good. It's good to know that I could get 450 for an investment that I paid 125. Um, Okay, guys, so let me go back now to let me show you something that I do, which is a seller's net sheet. Does anybody here use a seller's net sheet when they go to their presentations?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So this is a seller's net sheet right here. These are the prices that I came up with. It's funny because I didn't really do the comparables. I just know the ballpark of that neighborhood. So I put 410, and 450. I'd put a $200,000 payoff as an example. Okay. This even does like the tax deed, the a title cost, So this is pretty low, but it's a title cost, the commission on both sides, the transaction fee, and at the bottom you have the number that they're gonna walk away with. This is pretty accurate, it's not too far away. So once they see it here and they're like, okay, wait a minute, 180, okay, if we go to 180, we're not gonna have a big issue. But we would like 217, and depending on what the house brings, like I would always give them a price that they're gonna get excited about. This is a price that I usually list the middle price and then a lower price that we're not expecting to get. Okay, so let me go back to let me see. I see you guys have questions, but I know this is 30 minutes, so let me go to the questions really quick. Okay. That's so cute. Are you talking about me or the Christmas tree? Nah, I'm kidding. Let me see. 10:04. Can you zoom in? Oh, okay. What you want me to zoom into the property seller sheet? The next sheet? Give me 1 second. Let me see how I could do it. Oh, okay, okay. I'm not the most techy, guys. Forgive me. But hold up. I got you. How do we do this? Then, boom. Better? Darn it.
Yes, thank you. I just took
Sorry
a
about
picture.
Okay, hold on. Let me put it there for you. Better? And if you want, take down my email. My email is info at call the beard, as in facial hair. This beautiful beard I got, it's a little scruffy.com. So if anybody needs it, I'll send it over to you. Not a problem, guys. Okay. How many of you think that this will be helpful for you when you go on the listing appointments? It's an extra tool that gets into the numbers. Do you guys like it?
Yes, it's super nice. Thank
Yeah,
you.
perfect. So let me see what else I got for you. Okay, so
I have a question.
go ahead.
Sorry, it's a little loud because I'm in the Atlantic City convention. But
Oh, okay.
yeah. So see, look, I'm being good-ish. Um, question, is there any tips or tricks that you have like wording, right? Because I know there's certain things of wording that you say at listings that come out key. Like for example, like when I get in there, I'm like, hey, you pretend to be a realtor, walk me through your house or something like that. You have anything that you kind of do it already by memory or something in that sense that you feel that helps you a lot with clients?
Yes, I'm gonna get into it. I wanted to get into the paperwork part of it, what I bring with me, because you know the time is limited. I was afraid that I would go over if I didn't get everything that I needed to out. So this needs to be recorded. So okay, recap really quick on what I already did. So the property appraiser site to get all the information and run the comparables. Okay, and that's where you get all the information from the client too. Sometimes you're calling people and the owner doesn't match or it has an LLC. Then you got to go to Sunbiz and see if they own that LLC and all that fun stuff. So I'm gonna take off the property appraiser and okay. So you asked me, is there anything that I do? Basically, what I do is that when I get to these appointments, I'm myself. I could pretty much tell if the person's gonna rock with me or not. My favorite client are Hispanics because I could talk to them easily. I have my little lingo. I have my demeanor. I try to come in with the most confidence that I could because I think that's important. Sometimes I'll pull up nice, or sometimes I'll pull up in a polo and some joggers or something like that. But my demeanor means business. A big thing is that you want to be knowledgeable about what you're talking about. If you go there and you're dressed really nice, one time I went to a listing appointment and one of my guys could tell you we went nice. Everybody went really nice. There was a guy that came and he became friends with us later, and this kid was like suited up from head to toe. But my confidence in that appointment did it. And I ended up inviting the kid to the listing appointment. He sat at the table with us and listened to my whole listing appointment and then did his. Obviously, we got the listing. Not to say that we're better than anybody else, but we come in ready and sometimes we don't get it. This game is like that. I've gotten some listings from people that they're killers on the phone, and I've all I had was a 3-minute conversation, and found out I took it from somebody else. Somebody else has taken listings from me. That's just the way that it goes. It depends if the people like you or not. Like I'll give you an example. I'm having a hard time breaking into 33133141, which is like the beach area slash North Miami, like North Miami Beach to like 79th Street, all of that around there, the islands. I got the condo, just because it's nice, but I wanted to get business in that area and I started buying realtor.com leads. And those leads, yeah, they're beautiful, 15 million, 20 million. But what I've learned about these people is that they they've been working with their broker for a long time. They're people with money that have been having money, so they've been doing business, and it's harder to break in. So I gave up on that, and now I want to do something else. I didn't feel comfortable with luxury that much. I will take it. I feel confident, but at the same time, I don't want to chase those type of people. To me, it's a little tedious. I'd rather get the my bread and butter Hispanics that I get along with and it's pleasant. I don't know if you guys get me, but I get myself kind of. Uh but yeah, it's just about confidence when you get in there to answer your question. Try to find something in the house that you could talk about. Like I'm the king of like useless information or a whole bunch of stuff that that doesn't pertain to the sale when I get there, but it gets their guards down if they have a car, like an old school car, or they have anything that they went to a certain place that I went, or a school, or they know a certain group or a church or whatever. I always try to be friendly first before I go in for the kill. I mostly want to listen to the clients. Like you don't want to be just say blah 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 blah. I'm an observer, so I sit there and I observe them as they show me the house, their body language, their posture, the way they respond. I if I feel it at the end of the listing appointment, I'll ask for the listing. They're like, all right, there's been times where they're like, okay, no, we'll think about it. Yeah, it sounds good. Be like, all right, if it sounds good, and you're considering it, what's stopping me from getting the business now? Would you give me the business now? Can I ask you for the business? And I'll say that, and sometimes you'll be surprised. They'll be like, yeah, like looking at their wife, like, honey, like, you have to be stern sometimes, because I've seen some people, and even in my team, that they blabber away and blabber because they want to sound overconfident. But the more you blabber doesn't mean that you're confident. It shows like you're nervous. So the demeanor is a very big thing. You could talk your way out of a listing. Sometimes the people don't want to hear uh all that fluff, or they could tell that you're just like, they could smell that commission breath. Be yourself. I go in there always thinking that I'm gonna get the listing, but I go in there trying to build a relationship, trying to build value, being truthful. You don't have to tell somebody that hey bro, your property's crap. Like, it's not gonna sell for that. What are you doing? You could show them, be like, hey, look, based on these comparables, let's do it together. What do you think? Does your house compare to this one? Yeah. Okay. What about this one? And then they weed out the ones that are not comparable. So you could let them down lightly. And excuse me. And basically, they're doing the work for you, because they're like negging their house or saying, "Oh yeah, my house is not up to par with that one," or whatever. So let me show you guys. Let me see if I have any questions here. Okay, no questions. Let me show you guys. What I do for like remarks and stuff like that for the listing, or if I got it prepared. Like, I did this for my friend the other day, and it was pretty cool. So I went on Chat GPT, right? And I put in there, my friend's like, bro, I don't know if I should rent my property or I should sell my property, right? I was like, damn, I really want him to sell. But he's a friend of mine. So I was like, let me do the homework for real and show him the pros and the cons. So basically, I went on Chat GPT and I put how renting versus buying. The thing about ChatGPT, you have to be very specific with what you say. Renting versus buying, how much he was gonna make renting the place in 10 years or whatever, and how much he would make selling it. So basically what I came up with that he was short every month on the rent because the association kept going up. So it's like it went up for him, and I think he would profit like $100 the first year, but then it started getting less and less, and then he was making very little, versus a sale that he'll make 200-300 grand right away and make his move, which was going to Boston. So his thing was, I want to make more money and I have to move to Boston because I got a job opportunity. So I go, all right, bro, look, if you rent it, you're gonna get this much, you're gonna break even in this many years, you're gonna make what you made selling it. If your thing is to make money, you live in an association, beautiful neighborhood, but there's a cap. Why don't you buy like a duplex or something where you could put the money into? You have two properties, you could rent them both, or whatever you want to do, and you have more money based on what you made on the sale, you know? And he's like, bro, you know what? You're right. I'm just gonna sell the house. And I ended up getting the listing. But you want to be able to have the conversations with your clients. You want to be knowledgeable. Chat gpt, I use it a lot for remarks. I just paid for like this one here. I think this is like the Elon Musk one, but it has a whole bunch of different ones as well. So like I've played around with it for generating a logo, and here you could tweak it. I've done before, like, oh, make me sound like Ryan Serhant, make me sound a little more relative to a person like this. It really works off of like commands, and the commands have to be on point, because if you're very broad, it's going to give you a very broad answer. um when it comes to, remember I told you guys about the fluff, that I don't like the whole thing about the listing presentation that has a whole bunch of information on it. Well, Lifestyle made one, I believe. If anybody could chime in that knows about this one, let me know if this was meant to be for a listing, because that's what it looks like. It says seller's guide, essential guide for selling your property. And then I believe this is, it says all the information about or this is customizable. So they put George, and I think they put Yadi. So you could take out, and put whatever you want. You see, it's a template. This is on LIR Cloud, and then here is all that stuff that find the real estate agent, set a price, stage a home, market your home. Like these I guess is like all the things that you're educating them about, and they could see it on paper, and it lets them see what you would do for them, you see. So listing agreement, appraisal, home inspection, continue to see, it just goes through all the steps, you know. So it is like a listing presentation, and power of negotiation. So if anybody needs this is on the LIR cloud. Okay. That pretty much concludes, in a nutshell, what it is that I do. I'll open up the last 7 minutes or whatever to answer questions. Is there anybody that has any questions? Okay, let me see. Look at chat. Oh, how did you get the seller's net sheet? Somebody gave it to me. One of my guys got it from somebody else, and then we started using it. I don't even know. I'm not the most techie guy, but I'm pretty sure that somebody did this on an Excel sheet. Okay. I can share it with you. Let me put my email. Hmm. One thing that's very important, always show up early, guys. If you could show up 15 minutes early, that'll make you look good. Sometimes we're pressed for time, and it's happened to me where we leave last minute and we're like, oh damn, we got to make up for 3 minutes or whatever, and I get there a minute or two late. That's no good. It already shows that you're behind on something that you're trying to attain. So your first impression is big. Always exude confidence. Make sure that you own the room. Listen twice as much as you talk. That's why we have 2 ears and one mouth. The people will usually tell you. If Fernando's on here, he'll tell you. The other day we have a listing that the buyer's agent was just blabbing away. She's like, "Oh, I don't care because this is a Z buyer. This is a Z buyer, and I already got the listing of the home, and this guy's locked in. I don't even care about losing a little bit of commission. He's gonna sell his home. He has nowhere to go." I was like, "What the heck?" So like she gave me all the ammunition. So when it came time to negotiating, this guy wasn't even going a dollar up, letting go of the deal. He came up 20 grand. So, you have to know when to play your cards right. Have a poker face. If they stay quiet after a statement, you stay even quieter. Like sometimes, the goal is to see like whoever talks first loses. That's so true. When you say something stern to a client and you just look at them like this, waiting for an answer, they're gonna be like under pressure. So that's something that is good, a good tactic to have. I like to leave a small gift to the seller. Yeah, that's cool. This year I want to be more about sending out stuff and systemizing my business. There's a lot of guys in lifestyle that systemize their business really well. Um, and I wanna be able to do that. I'm starting to do like holiday templates, and I'm gonna do a whole bunch of thank you cards and like automate it. If you guys use Chime, that's a really good one to have. You could do everything through Chime. Like you could send out reports, you could template little things for like social media. Everything's on there. It's an added feature, but you know how Lifestyle has Chime, which is lofty. I recommend using the little features. Now be careful because I messed up doing pay-per-click and they charged me like $700 a month for buyer leads that weren't that good because there's always people browsing the internet. So if you're gonna buy leads, I would say setter leads are better, and a good avenue that I've been getting a lot of turnaround has been Z Buyer. Believe it or not, I paid for Realtor, Zillow, all of that, but Z Buyer and Redex is our bread and butter at the beer group. Uh, I like the gift idea. I'm gonna start doing like boxes for the listings and giving it to the people like branded boxing with like the beer group so they could move. And every time they see the boxes, they think about us. Calendars are nice now for the holidays. Um, anything personable. A chopping block, a charcuterie board, something that you could brand.
Positive. If you're looking to buy in bulk, I use positive promotions. So that's how I get that. So since I started, I've been doing a lot of those drop bys. I just did like so many of them right now for Thanksgiving. I still drop them off just because for some reason or another, it's just hard to automate that to get somebody to actually do that to the way that you're going to. But I just recently hired my daughter that drives. So that's what that's what I did. And it just works. Like so out of all the ones I dropped off, so I must have dropped off at least 30. God willing,
Uh-huh.
those are already 6 new deals coming in next year.
Nice.
And obviously I don't do it because of that, because I love my clients, but it just works out very well. But positive promotions is a really good one when you want to buy in bulk for that, and they can customize certain things. And then you could just go on Amazon and just like put your logo or whatever in that. My clients really like that. Last year I got a little bit more, this year actually I got more creative. You know how sometimes, I don't know if they do that over there, but like Christmas tree pop-ups, like they'll do like somebody will buy a storefront and they'll put a whole bunch of Christmas stuff, and then when it's gone, it's gone. I don't know if that's a thing over there,
Oh
but
wow.
right here.
I've seen them mostly at churches, like buy a tree and they'll put them all up for display with lights and everything, and then people buy them, to donate.
So
Uh,
similar out here, we have something called like they do it for Halloween or things. They'll just rent a shop, put a whole bunch of stuff. So when they were closing down, I said, hey, can I just buy like 150 ornaments? So it's, when I get back from here, I'm gonna make it pretty, put my logo, like things like that. So it definitely does work. But what I meant with the seller gift was, like you said, your community is Spanish, like mine too. So like I was going like a solid hour and a half to this listing, and I knew that they were I don't know, I just kind of know our culture, right? So I'm like, hey, let me bring you something. And I brought her empanadas, and that was like, she raved about it. She's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, blah, blah.
oh,
So like even so
that's
I
so
walked in with empanadas, which is like for us, it's so culturally like kitchen and food. So that's what I mean. Like I just like right before the listing, I'm just like, hey, I just thought of you. Here you go.
wait, but what type of empanadas were they?
They were actually Venezuelan. Like I'm Colombian, so like
Oh,
that's
those
what
are
I know.
those are good. Those are good. I love the Colombian ones too, but I know which ones you're talking about. Like they're sweet, right?
Yeah, so I didn't even know. So but it was so funny is that because I bought from there, even though they were from the area, they'd never tried that spot. So now they're like, oh my God, this is great. This food is really, really good. And I was like, yay. So it helped the business and it helped them. So it was like I said, it was just like a very warm way to kind of let them break the ice a bit.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's good. It's a good way to get to people through their stomach. And I used to do that a lot more, but you know what? You encouraged me to try it again after the whole COVID thing. Things got a little bit weird, and a lot of people weren't accepting things like cookies and stuff like that. So I was like, yesterday my girlfriend's like, hey, let's we moved to a new neighborhood. She's like, I'm gonna make the neighbor sourdough bread. I'm like, babe, get the heck out of here. Who the heck is gonna take a sourdough bread? But you know what? It's just, I guess my way of thinking is jaded because of the whole thing with COVID. I see here, Zay. What did you put for ChatGPT? All right, so basically, I told him my friend has a property he wants to sell. Da 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 da. I gave it the basics. How much would he make on a sale versus a rent? Versus a rent in the span of 10 years, calculate expenses, calculate equity, calculate everything, all the little things, and it built it out for me, man. Okay. Uh get people through the stomach. Yes, sir. Positive promotion, small gifts. Yep. even like going around like you could give a small little thing. You could do EDDM too. That's a good one. They say it takes like 8 points of contact before you could get to these people. So I would do that. Um, that's something that I don't see it work so fast, but over time, people have told me it works. And social media, I want to get back into posting a lot more. I want to start doing videos, educational stuff, because when I first started, I used to do a lot more on social media, and I feel like I'm lacking now. So I got to get on that. Let me see. Bring homeowners authorization temporary listing from MLS. Okay, so if somebody wrote also a good idea to bring a owner's authorization to temporarily exclude listing from the MLS. Could you share, Louis, what that is?
Yeah, it's basically like when you go for a listing and you know, they're skeptic on wanting to sign. Um, it's good to get the contract signed when you go to the listing appointment. And if they don't want to put it on the MLS, because technically once you get the listing signed and the contract signed, right,
Uh-huh.
you have 3 days to submit that. So if you have that authorization form with you and it's required by the MLS because it's got to be listed by a certain time, it's good to have that form in case they decide, well, I want to wait a week or 2 weeks. You want to get the listing contract signed and have that authorization form so that they could at least sign the contract, but not put it into the listing for whenever they want, say it's a week later or what have you. You
Mhm.
have that form, you're protected. You don't have to go back and get that form signed.
What's the name of the form, my brother?
It's an owner's authorization. This is exactly what I wrote there. It's the owner's authorization to temporarily exclude listing from the MLS. You would need to upload that to the MLS if you don't have the listing inputted into the MLS, but within a certain time.
Got it. All right. Thank you for that, man. I've never heard of it personally, but where are you in Florida? Or no?
Yeah, I'm in Tampa.
You're in Tampa. Okay. So cool, man. I appreciate that. I'm gonna look into it. I've never heard of that document, but it's something that I'll look into because it sounds good. Thank you for your input, brother.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Zig Ziglar says that a lot of if you don't ask for the business, don't get upset when you don't get it. That's so true. There's been times the guy's like, "All right, man, I'll let you know." Be like, "What are you gonna let me know, man? I'm here." Like, and I've gotten the listing. Sometimes, you just have to be bold. The other day, a lady's like, "Hey, I'm very anxious. The house hasn't sold." I'm like, "Well, listen, we're before the elections. Things are a little bit slower in the holidays." And she was kind of being a little bit like extra. So I'm like, "Do you want to cancel? We could cancel if you like." She's like, "No, no, no." So she stuck it out a couple more weeks, and now I have the house under contract. So don't be afraid to like put your foot down sometimes, it works. You always just have to be polite. Guys, thank you so much. I think I'm going to conclude the meeting. We went a little bit over. I hope that this was very informative for you and that at least you got a little bit. I'll probably do another one to show you different things that I do in the listing. That's to me that's my strong suit. I like listings. So if there's anything that I could do to help you out, you guys have my email. Now I'm gonna put my number on here. Okay, feel free to reach out and thank you so much. Have a blessed holidays, guys.